When was the last time you wanted something so badly that you pretended you didn't want it at all? You told yourself, "I'm above this, I don't care." But your mind kept circling back. Your body knew. Your dreams knew. And sooner or later, that forbidden desire found a way to take control. If that feels uncomfortably familiar, stay with me. Because in this video on Freudora, we're going to unpack a brutal truth. What you deny doesn't disappear. What you deny starts driving your life from the dark. And by the end of this, you'll understand why your hidden desires control you and how to finally stop being their victim. The hidden war inside you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever sworn you're done with a toxic ex, then answered their call at 2 a.m.? Promised yourself no more porn, and then binged harder than before? Decided to focus on work, not money, and then sabotaged your career when real success got close? You tell yourself you're disciplined, mature, in control, but your actions tell another story. You ghost people you actually like. You ruin good opportunities at the last minute. You accidentally do the very thing you swore you wouldn't. And afterward you ask, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? Here's the answer nobody tells you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're conflicted. Part of you wants, part of you forbids. And the forbidden part often wins. In this episode, we're going to expose the psychological mechanism Freud discovered, how denied desire comes back as obsession, addiction, and self-sabotage. Show you real examples of how this plays out in love, sex, money, and being a good person. Give you practical tools to stop fighting your desire and start working with it, not by manifesting, not by positive thinking, but by doing the one thing you've probably never truly done, letting yourself admit what you really want. Let's go inside the mind. The Freudian triangle. Id, ego, superego. Freud said your mind is not one thing. It's a negotiation table. At that table sit three characters. The id, the child. I want it now. Sex, food, sleep, attention, power, comfort, pleasure, no rules. The superego, the strict parent. Good people don't do that. Morals, religion, culture, parents' voices, societal expectations. The ego, the negotiator, stuck in the middle, trying to keep everyone happy and your life functional. When desire, id, wants something that your good self, superego, says is forbidden, the ego panics. It thinks, if I admit I want this, I'm a bad person. I'll be rejected. I'll lose love, respect, belonging. So instead of facing the desire honestly, the ego does something drastic. It pushes the desire out of awareness. I don't want it. I'm not that kind of person. I'm better than this. This is called repression. And this is where your real problems begin. Here's what nobody tells you about repression. When you repress desire, it doesn't disappear. It just changes form. Imagine a river. You block it with a dam and pretend it's gone. It's not gone. Pressure is building behind the wall. That pressure has to go somewhere. So desire sneaks back into your life, disguised as, I don't know why I'm doing this behavior. Obsessions and fantasies, extreme overreactions, depression, anxiety, emptiness. Self-sabotage right when things get good. Freud called it the return of the repressed. Your denied desire comes back, not as a clean, honest wish you can negotiate with, but as a symptom that controls you. Let me show you what this looks like. Story 1. The good girl who keeps cheating. Meet Aisha. On the surface, she's perfect. Polite, caring, spiritual. The kind of person who always says, "I don't care about sex that much. For me, it's about love and connection." Deep down, though, she's starving for intense physical desire. To be wanted, to be chosen, to feel powerful and sensual. But in her family, women who enjoy sex are cheap. Her superego is loud. Good girls don't want that. Be pure, be modest, be above such things. So Aisha builds a persona of purity. Result? Every time she's in a stable, safe relationship, she finds herself flirting with someone else. Then crossing the line. Then crying afterward, "I don't know what came over me." Here's what came over her. The desire she refused to admit in daylight took over in the dark. She didn't cheat because she's bad. She cheated because she wasn't allowed to consciously want what she wanted. Story 2. The guy who doesn't care about money. Now meet Rohan. He loves saying, "I'm not driven by money. I just want to do meaningful work." Sounds noble, right? But here's the truth. He actually wants to be rich. He wants status, freedom, the power to say no, nice things, nice places. The moment he feels that, another voice cuts in. Wanting money makes you greedy and shallow. You should be above all that. So he denies it. What happens? He underprices his work. He feels uncomfortable asking for a raise. He calls rich people sellouts and corrupt to feel morally superior. Secretly, he stalks luxury content online and feels jealous and ashamed. His repressed desire for wealth doesn't vanish. It becomes resentment, procrastination, and quiet self-sabotage. When a big opportunity shows up, he delays replying, forgets to send the proposal, talks himself out of it. On the surface, I'm being ethical and modest. Underneath, I'm terrified of owning how much I actually want. Story 3. The porn cycle. One more. Someone swears off porn. They delete every site from their phone. They promise themselves, never again. I'm stronger than this. But they don't ask, what is this desire really about? What am I craving emotionally, not just physically? They only slam the door shut and label their sexuality dirty. Guess what happens? Stress builds, loneliness builds, fantasy builds. And then one night, boom, they go on a 4-hour binge, worse than before. Shame doubles, self-hatred grows. The pattern deepens, not because of desire itself, but because of war with desire. You've been taught that being a good person means wanting less, needing less, being above messy human drives. So when you feel desire for sex, money, power, freedom, recognition, you judge yourself before you even fully feel it. But here's where it gets interesting. The more holy your self-image, the more dangerous your shadow becomes. If you must always be selfless, pure, humble, non-sexual, non-angry, then every normal human impulse that doesn't fit that costume gets forced underground. And in the dark, those impulses twist. Love turns into obsession. Attraction turns into cheating. Assertiveness turns into cruelty or total collapse. Ambition turns into envy and secret sabotage. You think you're controlling your desire, but actually, your desire is controlling you from the basement. The psychological mechanics, Freud's view. Let's get a bit deeper into how this works. Desire arises. You want something: sex, food, success, revenge, attention. Superego attacks. You shouldn't want that. It's wrong. You'll be judged. Ego represses. To avoid guilt and anxiety, the ego shoves the desire out of awareness. You say, "I don't care about that. That's not me." Energy remains, but psychic energy can't just vanish. It needs an outlet. Return of the repressed. The desire returns disguised as irrational behavior, addictive habits, nightmares, slips of the tongue, depression, anxiety, or physical symptoms, destructive choices at the worst possible time. Freud would say, you think you're making conscious decisions, but often it's the repressed part of you steering the wheel. So what do you do? If denying desire makes it stronger, is the answer to just do whatever you feel? No. Let's be clear. Not every desire should be acted on, but every desire should be acknowledged. The problem is not your wanting. The problem is your fear of admitting what you want. Emotional confrontation. What are you afraid to admit? Let's slow down. I'm going to ask you a few uncomfortable questions. Answer them honestly, even if only in your head. What is the desire you judge the most in yourself? What do you secretly want that doesn't match your good person image? Where do you say, "I don't care," but your behavior keeps proving that you do? Maybe you tell yourself, "I don't care if people find me attractive. I'm fine being broke. I'm spiritual. I'm over my ex. I'm not angry at my parents. I've forgiven them." Really? Or have you just locked those desires and feelings in a basement and thrown the key into your nervous system? Here's why this matters. You cannot transform what you refuse to see. You can't negotiate with a desire you pretend you don't have. You can't give it a healthy outlet, so it grabs an unhealthy one. This isn't moral failure, it's psychological physics. So, what do you do with forbidden desire? Let's get practical. Step 1. Name the desire without a verdict. Instead of jumping straight to "this is wrong" or "this is right," start with "a part of me wants," that's it. I notice a part of me wants power. A part of me wants to be desired by many people. A part of me wants to be rich and admired. A part of me wants revenge. You're not signing a contract, you're just telling the truth. This simple sentence weakens repression. It brings the desire into the light of awareness, and in the light, it calms down. Step 2. Ask, what is this really about? Beneath every raw desire is a psychological need. Sex might be about feeling lovable, wanted, alive. Money might be about safety, freedom, or respect. Power might be about never being helpless again. Revenge might be about finally being seen and taken seriously. So ask, if I got exactly what I want, What feeling would I finally have? Often you'll find a wound underneath. The desire isn't random. It's your psyche trying to heal or protect itself. Once you see the need, you can find healthier ways to meet it. Step 3. Talk to your superego. Remember that harsh inner voice? Instead of letting it scream from the shadows, bring it into the conversation. Ask it, what are you afraid will happen if I admit this desire? Whose voice are you repeating? My parents? Religion? Society? Is this rule actually protecting me or just controlling me? Your superego is not evil. It's trying to keep you safe based on old information. Thank it, then update it. I can acknowledge this desire without acting recklessly. I can be honest with myself and still choose wisely. You're upgrading from childlike repression to adult responsibility. Step 4. Give the desire a healthy outlet. Desire needs a channel. If you don't give it one, it will dig its own. So ask, what is a responsible, conscious way to honor this energy? Some examples. If you crave sexual expression, explore it honestly, through real intimacy, consensual experiences, or even talking about your fantasies instead of hiding them with shame and secret binges. If you want money and status, admit it. Then pursue it ethically, with boundaries, instead of pretending and sabotaging opportunities. If you want power, find ways to lead, create, influence, not to dominate, but to contribute. You're not becoming a slave to desire, you're becoming its leader. Step 5. Watch your symptoms change. When you start honestly acknowledging what you want, something strange happens. The obsessive thoughts soften. The compulsive behavior loses intensity. The need to sabotage yourself starts to fade. Why? Because the hidden war is over. You're no longer split between I don't want this and I desperately want this. You're one person again. Your new relationship with desire. Let's boil this down. Here's the old model most of us live in. Desire equals dangerous. Denial equals virtue. Repression equals control. And here's what Freud and your own life actually show. Desire equals energy. Denial equals self-deception. Repression equals loss of control. The real path is different. Awareness plus choice. I see what I want. I understand why I want it. Now I decide how to respond. That is adult psychology. That is inner freedom. One final question for you. So here's my challenge. Tonight, when you're alone, ask yourself, what desire in me has been running my life from the dark? Because I've been too scared to admit it. Write it down. Don't dress it up. Don't make it spiritual. Don't make it pretty. Just tell the truth. Because the moment you stop pretending is the moment the desire stops pretending too. It stops showing up as sabotage, addiction, or I don't know what came over me. It becomes what it always was, a piece of you, asking to be seen, asking to be negotiated with, not exiled. If this hits something inside you, don't just scroll away. On Freudora, we're going deeper into these battles between your unconscious desires and your conscious life. In the next episode, we'll explore why you keep getting attracted to people and situations that hurt you, and how that, too, is your unconscious trying to repeat and resolve old wounds. Until then, remember, you don't become free by killing your desire. You become free by finally daring to look it in the eye and choosing what to do with it.